What's up everybody, we're back again with some PTR testing, and this time we're taking a look at the new Heart of Azeroth system called Essences. Now keep in mind that this is early PTR and things will change, but I'll make a more updated video when 8.2 is released. So what are Essences? In short, Essences are very strong abilities and passives that will greatly empower our characters. They will also open up the possibilities to use new traits, new talents, and, well, overall new builds for a lot of classes and specs. For example, you can have one essence that gives you a pet Azerite Guardian for a while, one that stores all overhealing done as a healer to be used when needed, or how about 100% uptime on meta as a Havoc Demon Hunter. The essences are not class specific, meaning that everyone gets the same. However, some of the essences are role specific, so they require you to be either tank, healer, or DPS, and a few of them changes depending on spec or class. These are essences that gives you things like extra resources or reduces cooldowns. So when 8.2 goes live, we will do a few quests in order to empower our necklace so that we can use essences. In the Chamber of Heart, where Magni usually hangs out, there will be a Heart Forge, which is pretty much the Legion artifact forge, which we will use to learn new essences when you get them. And the interface for this kinda resembles the old glyph system combined with the Legion artifacts. In this grid, if you will, you can unlock a few different nodes, 2 minor slots and 1 major slot. The smaller nodes gives you stamina, and the slots allows you to equip an essence in them. This will all be gated behind the level of your neck, so in order to unlock different nodes and slots, you will need to increase the level of your neck. Blizzard said that the later nodes and slots are unreachable even if you grind 24/7, so pretty much we will unlock 1 major slot and 1 minor early and the rest whenever Blizz feels like it. The essences themselves you acquire through different means. They're all targetable, but some are more annoying to get than other. Some of the essences you get by doing PvP like battlegrounds and arenas, some by doing keystones, some from quests, and some of them are gated behind reputation. The first rank of an essence is fairly easy to acquire, like complete a +4 key in time, or simply by opening a weekly PvP chest. Upgrading the essences follow the same pattern. If you got the essence by doing a keystone, then the next rank will be from that as well. And every rank will be increasingly harder to get. So for example, first rank a +4 in time, next rank +7, next rank all dungeons +10 in time, and I think last one is all dungeons in time on +15. So yeah, it gets more difficult with every rank. However, the last rank is cosmetic only, so there's no power increase for that. So in this example, in order to get the full effect from an essence, you would have to do all dungeons +10, not 15. And in your essence interface, you can see what you need to do in order to get an essence and where the next rank is from, which makes it a lot easier to target and to plan ahead what you need to do. Anyways, you can then equip one of your essences in either a major or a minor slot. You can change essences in any rested zone or by using a tome. Each and every essence have a major and a minor effect, which will grant you either a new ability, a passive, or both. And this is where the major and minor slots come into play. If equipped in a major slot, you get both the major and minor effect, and if you equip it in a minor slot, you only get the minor power. Major slot, all effects, minor, only the minor effect. For example, there's an essence called Blood of the Enemy. The major effect gives you a new ability, which deals around 35k damage to every enemy within 12 yards of the player. On top of this, you get 25% increased crit chance against any target hit by Blood of the Enemy for 15 seconds. The minor effect of this essence is that anytime you crit with an ability, you get a stack of Blood of the Enemy. When it reaches 25 stacks, you get around 1k haste for 12 seconds. So if I put this essence in a major slot, I get both the new ability and the stacking buff that procs haste, but if I equip it in a minor slot, I only get the haste proc. As I mentioned earlier, you can also upgrade the essences to increase their powers. Each essence can be upgraded 3 times as of now, rare, epic, and legendary. And as I said, the last rank is only cosmetic, you get a cool effect or new animation. I have yet to try that out, so I sadly can't show you it right now. However, we have access to every other rank, the rare and the epic ones. So, taking again Blood of the Enemy, when you upgrade it to the rare rank, the minor effect gets empowered, so now you get 28 crit per stack of Blood of the Enemy. And if we upgrade it to the epic rank, it gets a bit insane. On top of everything, it now adds to your major effect 35% increased critical strike damage for 15 seconds. And the minor effect has a 25% chance to only consume 15 of its 25 stacks for the haste proc. So when you get 25 stacks and it turns into the 1k haste, you still have 10 stacks left of the crit buff. So the epic ranks make some essences a tad broken, to say the least. Again, it's early PTR, so a lot can and will change. But Blizzard themselves said they want them to be overpowered, so we'll see where it goes. Another example is the Vision of Perfection, which is probably the most debated essence at the moment. When it's on its first rank, the major effect gives you a chance to proc one of your cooldowns at 40% of its duration. Now, which cooldown you get is based on your spec and class. Demon Hunters proc Meta, Prot Warriors, Avatar, etc, etc. So, for some classes this is just broken, and for some it's pretty, at best. And the minor effect of this essence is just a flat 15% reduction to that cooldown. So my Demon Hunter's meta goes from a 3-minute cooldown to 2.6 minute cooldown instead. And when we upgrade this essence to epic, the major effect gives you a 50% duration on the cooldown proc instead of 40%. And anytime it procs, it also reduces the cooldown of your ability by 10 seconds. So if I proc meta, the cooldown on meta is also reduced by 10 seconds. To make it more fun, this does not have an internal cooldown, meaning it can proc back to back. Now, using the above examples, if we put Vision of Perfection in the major slot and Blood of the Enemy in the minor slot, we get everything from Vision, the proc, the cooldown reduction, everything, and we get the minor stacking buff from Blood of the Enemy. Now, there's a lot of essences right now, so you can mix and match around quite a bit to get something that suits your current needs, if you will. There's unused damage reductions, healing procs that gives you mana, sheet deaths, insane on-use AoEs, a chance to refund resources, damage increase procs, the old Kingeroth trinket Acrid on steroids, so there's something for everything. I don't want to go over each and every essence in this video, it would drag on quite a bit, but I'll leave a link with all the essences so you can check it out if you want to. To top this off, some of these essences also interacts with your Azerite traits and talents, or just overall synergizes extremely well with some classes and specs. For example, on my Protection Warrior, if I use the Vision of Perfection, which procs Avatar for 10 seconds, it will also proc my trait Bastion of Might, and this just increases the value of that trait and the essence. And due to this, the essences opens up some interesting changes to some specs and builds. For example, the Havoc Demon Hunters, if they change their build around a bit, they will get close to 100% uptime on meta. And this is because of the interaction between Vision of Perfection and the talent Demon Blades. Vision procs of your abilities and Demon Blades counts as an ability. So anytime you auto-attack, meta can proc. And anytime it procs, your cooldown on meta is reduced by 10 seconds. And this is only achievable due to the new essences, and in this case it works really well for a Demon Hunter. But for some other classes and specs, this would be useless, so some essences will be highly situational, some will only be good for certain specs, some on AoE, some on single target, etc, etc. So we'll probably see a whole lot of crazy builds due to these essences. And I think that pretty much covers most of it for now. And with that said, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this new system. There's been a lot of mixed reactions to it so far, some love it, some hate it. I am personally a bit torn on this. I love the part of this that opens up new possibilities. Anything that gives me as a player more choices to play around with is something good in my book. I love trying out new builds, trying to find new and better ways of doing something, and this system does just that. I've spent hours upon hours on the PTR just trying out different essences with different traits, or with different talents, different stats, to see how it interacts, or if I can find some weird new meme build to play around with. For example, on my Prot Warrior, I found a way to get 100% uptime on block by using some of the new essences, a talent that we kinda never use, and switching to the attack speed enchant on my weapon. Will we end up using this ever? Don't know, hard to say, but just the fact that this new system opened up the possibility for this is something I like. There's a lot of bad things with this system as well, and it can bring some negative changes to the game. Preach Gaming made a very good video on this topic, which I recommend that you check out if you're interested in that. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on the new system, and if you have any questions at all, don't forget to hit me up in the comments below. Don't forget to check out my Patreon if you'd like to support me and my work. You'll get access to my Discord where you can get all my weak auras, notes, and it's the fastest way to get a hold of me. On that note, I also want to give a big shout out to Casso World and Joachim Carlsen and all my Patreons for your support. It really means a lot, so thank you. With that said, if you like these kind of videos, hit that subscribe button, leave me a like, and ring that notification bell. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.